Meet Anita and Sam. They had been married for many years, and they are still as close as ever. Anita, who was 50, and Sam, who was 55, shared a bond that was strong and joyful. They had one son, Johnson, who had grown up, finished school, and was now working in a big company. Although Johnson lived on his own, he visited his parents often, staying over to spend time with them because he knew how much they cherished him. Anita adored her son, and she and Sam, her husband, enjoyed a deep love that kept them close. Almost like newlyweds, they went out together frequently, enjoying each other's company, and finding ways to keep their marriage lively. It was clear to everyone around them that they were very happy together. One day, Sam received exciting news. He had been offered a big contract with a large company in Canada, which will mean a year-long job away from home. The contract came with a lot of money, enough to make a big difference for their family. When he shared the news, Anita was thrilled and even danced around with excitement. But later that night, as she sat alone, Anita's happiness turned to worry. She thought to herself, how will I manage without my husband Sam here for a whole year? Their bond was so strong, and the idea of him apart made her feel a deep loneliness. She whispered to herself, oh, how will I cope without him? I will be so lonely. I'm proud of him and happy for this opportunity, but how will I bear a whole year without my husband by my side? As she sat there, lost in her thoughts, Sam walked in and saw her troubled face. Gently he asked, what's on your mind, my love? She sighed, then shared her fears with him. Sam, I'm happy for you, truly. But the thought of you being away for so long worries me. I don't know how I will get through a whole year alone. I'm afraid of the loneliness. Sam took her hand, pulling her close. My love, he said softly. I know it's hard to imagine being apart, but 1 year will pass quickly. Just hold on to our love and the memories of all the happy times we have shared. I will call you every day, and before you know it, I'll be back home. Anita nodded, her heart a little lighter. From his comforting words, she promised to stay strong and wait for his return, holding on to their love to carry her through the coming year. On the day Sam was leaving, Anita stood by, tears streaming down her face as she watched him walk away suddenly. Sam rushed back, hugged her tightly, and gave her a gentle kiss. Before you know it, the year will be over, and I will be back by your side, he promised with a warm smile. Anita nodded, but as Sam walked away, she couldn't help but cry harder. Johnson, seeing his mother cry like a child, came over and wrapped his arm around her. Mom, don't worry, he says softly. I will be here for you whenever you need me. I will do my best to fill in for Dad until he comes home. Anita managed a small smile through her tears. Thank you, my son, but you can't take your father's place in my heart. You might be able to help me with all the things he used to do, but you can't share my bed. She looked away, worried. That's the hardest part for me. It's what's been keeping me up at night. Johnson thought for a moment. Mom, try to hold on to the happy memories you and Dad have shared. I know it's hard, but those memories will help you through the lonely nights. As the months passed, Anita still struggled with being alone in the house. One evening, she called Johnson, her son. This house is so big and empty, Johnson. I don't think I can stay here all alone. I would like to stay with you until your father returns. Without hesitation, Johnson agreed, of course, Mom. My home is yours too. Come anytime. The next day, Anita packed her bags and moved in with her son. Living together brought them closer. Each evening, when Johnson returned from work, they would chat, share stories, and laugh together. Anita felt happier, less lonely, and truly enjoyed her son's company. However, despite the laughter and company, Anita couldn't shake the feelings of loneliness at night. She would often toss and turn in bed, wishing for Sam's warm embrace, but he was miles away. One day, Johnson invited his friend, Joe, over. Joe was tall, kind, and had a friendly smile. When Anita noticed him from a distance, she quickly changed into a dress that was a little more stylish and came out to greet him. As she talked to Joe, she couldn't help but feel a little drawn to him. Johnson, noticing his mother's change in behavior. "I don't think it was necessary to dress up like that just to meet my friend," he said carefully. It felt a little uncomfortable, to be honest. Anita looked at him surprised. "I only wanted to look presentable, Johnson. I didn't want your friend thinking poorly of me. It's because I'm living here that you feel you can talk to me like this, isn't it?" Her voice broke slightly. "I blame your father for leaving me here alone like a stranger in my own life." Seeing his mother's tears, Johnson softened. He hugged her tightly and apologized. "I didn't mean to hurt you, Mom. I care about you. I love you very much, and I will always be here for you, no matter what." One evening, while Johnson was at work, his friend Joe stopped by. Thinking Johnson would be home to say hey to him, Anita saw him through the window and quickly changed into a short outfit that revealed her body more than usual. When Joe entered, he greeted her politely. "Good day, ma'am. Is Johnson at home?" he asked. Anita shook her head. "No. He's at work." Joe nodded and said, "Will he be come back now or later?" But as he turned to leave, Anita impulsively grabbed his arm and began to kiss him. Overwhelmed by the sudden rush of emotions, Joe couldn't resist and ended up following her into the bedroom. As things got more intense, Anita realized she had made a mistake. She tried to stop him, but it was too late. Afterwards, Joe felt a deep sense of regret. He sat up, shaking, and told Anita, "I am devastated. I have betrayed my friend, and I don't know how to make this right." Anita, also feeling ashamed, pleaded, "Please Joe, let this stay between us. I don't want my husband or my son to ever find out. I was just so lonely." When Johnson came home, he found his mother lying down and assumed she was simply tired. But the next day, Anita struggled to stand and eventually fainted. Johnson rushed her to the hospital. The doctor noticed signs of recent physical strain. Concerned, he told Johnson that this could be due to something unusual, and gently suggested Johnson ask his father to be careful when he returned. Hearing this, Johnson became suspicious, knowing his father had been away for months. When Anita regained consciousness, Johnson gently asked her what had happened. At first, she avoided his questions. But when he pressed, she finally broke down, admitting that she had acted on impulse with Joe in a moment of weakness. Johnson was heartbroken and angry, unable to bear the betrayal. He sent Anita back to her own home and had Joe arrested for taking advantage of his mother's vulnerability. Alone at home, Anita was filled with guilt and regret. She decided to confess everything to her husband, Sam, who was still working abroad. When Sam heard the truth, he was devastated. He told Anita not to be in the house before he returned. When Sam finally came home, he and Johnson tried to move on, but Sam couldn't shake his feelings of sadness and longing for his wife. Over time, he realized that he still loved her deeply and couldn't imagine life without her. One day, Sam asked Anita to come back. She returned, filled with remorse, and apologized. Promising to earn his trust again, Sam forgave her, understanding that loneliness had clouded her judgments. Johnson also softened, seeing his parents' love and forgiveness. He released Joe from the jail and accepted his apology, realizing that both Joe and his mother had been caught in a moment of weakness. In time, the family healed. Despite the hurt and mistakes, they learned that forgiveness could mend even the deepest wounds. Together, Sam, Anita, Johnson, and Joe rebuilt their relationships and found peace. Moral lesson: true forgiveness can mend broken hearts. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more captivating tales, please subscribe. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Your support means everything to me and it helps me bring you more exciting content. Stay tuned for more stories that will keep you entertained and inspired. God bless you for your support and I hope to see you in the next video.